Kendo Podcast episode 102. In this episode, I would like to share my insights of promotion exam.
Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from KendoGuide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit KendoGuide.com for more Kendo information and how to support KendoGuide.com.
Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 102. Yesterday, I recorded this podcast about promotion exam, but unfortunately, I was driving and the noise was so bad, so I decided to take this one again. So in the quiet environment, so it's easier for you to listen. And also, it was just bad. So here we go again. I went to the promotion exam to the federation I belong to yesterday, and a lot of Q grading people and some Nidan and Sandan applicants. So I have some. I want to share my insights for your next promotion exams. First thing first, make sure you're loud. Okay, this is very important. Okay, maybe you don't really understand what really kiai or kihaku means, but number one thing is you have to be loud. The louder you get, the sharper your strikes or techniques will be. So please do that. You go, yeah, man, very dull. You are striking. Your aim is to strike a target wherever you're striking, and this kiai, loud voice, yell, however you want to name it, will put things together. Okay, so it's a very important part of your strike, so please be loud. And also, for Q, if you're listening to this and working on EQ or something, in a Q level, what you have to do during your Q phase, you need to work on very basics. Don't get me wrong, you always have to work on the basics, but something you really have to remember is if you don't get the basic right during your Q phase, you're going to have hard time to get rid of bad habits. In other words, if you do all the basics correctly, you will improve faster, more quickly than anyone else. For example, your footwork, okay? You don't want to execute tsugiyashi when you strike man or kote wa do. When you strike, your feet should be ready. So you're in Isoku Itonoma, which means you can reach your target with one step. So it is different for person to person. If you're taller, you can reach your target from far distance. Remember, I don't want you to reach out and lose balance. So you have to maintain balance and then strike, because Kiken Tai Ichi should be executed thoroughly as well. Okay, so that is a part of the basics. So, go back to Isoku Itonoma. If you can take a step forward and reach your target, now that is your striking distance. Okay, so make sure you know your distance, and then once you know the distance, you can take a step forward and you reach. So you don't have to move your feet. Okay, a lot of people move their feet, especially left foot. They move their left foot and strike because they feel fear or not confident because they think they cannot reach. So that means you're far. You have to be comfortable in your own distance. Otherwise, it's not your distance. So please work on the distance. Okay. Footwork. If you always move your left foot, there is a technique called tsugiyashi and ayumiyashi. But these are techniques. If you're doing this without knowing that you're doing it, that's not good because you don't know what technique you're executing. So you have to acquire the very basic movement, and then as you advance, you can learn those advanced techniques. So first, you have to make sure you can execute those basic strikes with one step, and your hands position should be important. Your kensaki is important. Your left hand position, I said that. How you grab your sword is important. A lot of people have their right hand a little bit away from the tsuba. They should be touching in Kendo, okay? And if you think your tsuka is too long, you have to cut it. If you don't know how, there are a bunch of videos on YouTube so you can learn how. Or you can also learn from your sensei or senpai. Resources are always out there. If you don't know, and you see me, I'll show you, or I can at least tell you what to do. Okay? So please make sure you do these little basics correctly. That is Q phase. You have to work on those. So you don't have to work on these in the future, and you can learn more techniques to improve your Kendo. And second, I should have said this before anything else, appearance. If you don't look good, basically you shouldn't be be there to test. Like if you have short hakama, that's not good. If you don't know what length you should be wearing, please ask your sensei. And if you don't have a sensei, you have to ask someone. Like you don't randomly want to search things on internet. You have resource. If you're there for promotion exam, you must belong to some kind of Kendo federation, which belong to International Kendo Federation. So you have to reach to your federation and then ask for advice, right? Nothing to hesitate about. You're there to learn, so they are there to help you. Okay, so make sure you learn from them and learn from the good people or correct people, right people. Okay, so appearance and manner including manner is you should have your shinai clean too. Some people have nakajime, loosen during exam. That's not good. So make sure you look your shinai and make sure everything is right. If you don't know what is right shinai or how they look like, how it should look like, you have to ask your teacher. And your teacher or other people should realize your shinai is not in good shape. All right, so please make sure you pay attention to these details as well. So think about this Q phase as your getting basic together. And EQ, of course, different federations have different criteria. So I cannot say do this, do that for all the federations, in the world. But at least what I think is for EQ, you should do all the, not perfectly. You should be like, okay, you're now good enough to get first dan, shodan. So you have to perform Kiken Taichi, and you have to perform, the left foot shouldn't be moving. It's very hard. But if you could do that, if you can do execute strikes without moving your back foot, you are very good. Okay? And then, of course, shinai, how to make shinai, how to look good. You have to know all these things. And, if you can execute small strikes, first cue for EQ, that is great too. Of course, some federation probably ask you to execute big strikes, and then you have to execute big strikes. So you should be able to do those things very flexibly. You should be able to pass EQ. So you have to, whatever your sensei tells you to do, you have to do one by one. Just do it right. And then you need to know, what is criteria for shodan or EQ or nidan as well. For Dan exam, don't try to do it like shiai. You have to show you're good Kendo. So make sure you don't try to get a point. That's not important. Of course, you have to, if you can execute valley cut, that's a plus, but don't try to hit a target. Okay, so that is very important to remember. I hope this podcast will help you for your next Q grading or shodan or nidan grading. Make sure you don't try to get a point, but show good Kendo. See you in the next podcast. Thank you for listening.